You've ridden a horse or seen someone ride one. You've probably never seen anyone ride a zebra. They look almost the same. Stripes aside, a zebra is built like a horse, eats like a horse, and lives in herds like a horse. So why did one become humanity's oldest travel companion, while the other remained completely wild? The real answer is far stranger than looks. For thousands of years, humans tried. Ancient Egyptians tried, Victorian explorers tried. Lord Walter Rothschild even trained zebras to pull a carriage through the streets of London, just to prove it could be done. It could, technically, but it never scaled. Something deeper than training was working against every attempt.
To understand why, you have to go back about 6,000 years to the grasslands of Central Asia. That's where horses were first domesticated, not tamed for a single afternoon. Domesticated, meaning bred over generations to be calmer, more obedient, less reactive to fear. That process only works on animals with the right starting personality, and this is where zebras fail before they even begin. Biologist and geographer Jared Diamond studied this exact puzzle. He called it the Anna Karenina principle, borrowed from Tolstoy's opening line about unhappy families all going wrong in their own way. Diamond's idea was simple. A species can fail to be domesticated for any one of several reasons, but it only takes one. Wrong diet, wrong growth rate, wrong temperament, wrong social structure. Get even one of these wrong, and thousands of years of effort go nowhere.
Zebras fail on temperament. Specifically, something researchers call flight distance. Here's what that means. Every wild animal has an invisible bubble of personal space. Step inside it, and the animal panics and runs. For a horse on the open steppe, that bubble is relatively small. And more importantly, a horse calms down quickly once it senses the danger is past. A zebra's bubble is much larger, and it does not calm down quickly. It stays in a state of alarm long after the threat is gone. Why would evolution build an animal this jumpy? Because of what's hunting it. Zoologist Hans Klingel spent years studying zebra behavior in the wild, and he documented something chilling. Zebras share their grasslands with lions, leopards, hyenas, and crocodiles, predators that have hunted zebras for millions of years and gotten extremely good at it. A horse on the Central Asian steppe faced far fewer apex predators and far less evolutionary pressure to panic instantly and stay panicked. The zebra's nervous system isn't broken, it's perfectly calibrated. Calibrated for a world where hesitation means death. That calibration makes them almost impossible to handle. Zebras kick with incredible accuracy, and they aim for the head. Studies on animal-related injuries at zoos and wildlife parks have repeatedly noted that zebras injure more handlers per year than tigers do. Not because they're more aggressive in temperament, because when they feel cornered, their first instinct is not to negotiate, it's to end the threat immediately. There's a deeper twist here, though, and it has nothing to do with strength or speed. It's about social structure. Domesticatable animals tend to live in herds with a clear dominance hierarchy, one that humans can essentially hijack. You don't need to tame every cow in a herd. You tame the leader, or you raise calves who imprint on you as the authority figure, and the rest follow. Horses work this way, sheep work this way, even dogs evolved from wolf packs with exactly this kind of structure. Zebra herds don't really have one. Their social bonds are fluid, shifting, and far less hierarchical. There's no single leader you can win over to bring the rest into line. Every individual is essentially making its own threat assessment, all the time. Russian geneticist Dmitry Belyaev showed decades ago, through his famous fox breeding experiments, that domestication is really about selecting for calmness and reduced fear response across many generations. He bred foxes for tameness alone, and within just a few generations, they started acting like dogs. But that experiment depends on one crucial ingredient. You need individuals calm enough to breed from in the first place. With zebras, that calm individual essentially doesn't exist. There's no starting point to select from. So every zebra you've ever heard about being tamed was really just one specific animal, handled by one specific person under very specific conditions. It was never a population-wide shift. It was never heritable. The moment that animal died, the knowledge died with it. Compare that to horses, where calmness itself became a trait passed from parent to foal, refined generation after generation, until eventually you get the animal capable of carrying a rider into battle, or pulling a plow, or simply standing still while a child brushes its mane. This single difference rewired entire civilizations. Societies that had access to horses, donkeys, oxen, and camels could move armies, plow larger fields, and transport goods across vast distances. Societies in sub-Saharan Africa, surrounded by zebras instead, never got that same multiplier. It wasn't a difference in human ingenuity. It wasn't a difference in effort. It was a difference in which animals happened to be standing nearby when domestication became possible at all. Think about that the next time you see a zebra standing calmly behind a fence at a zoo, looking almost relaxed. That calm is an illusion built entirely on distance. Step inside its flight zone, and 6,000 years of unbroken wild instinct switches on instantly. No amount of patience erases that. No amount of training rewires millions of years of outrunning lions. You ride horses because somewhere on an ancient steppe, an animal's nervous system happened to be calm enough to bend. Zebras never got that chance. Not because they're wilder by choice, but because every one of their ancestors that hesitated for even a second became dinner. The real answer to why you've never ridden a zebra isn't about stripes at all. It's about which animals learned generations ago that staying calm was safe enough to risk.